Hanok, Enoch, chapter 73. And after this law I saw another law dealing with the smaller light, which is named the moon. And her circumference is like the circumference of the shamayim, and her chariot in which she rides is driven by the wind, and light is given to her in measure. And her rising and going down change every month, and her days are like the days of the sun. And when her light is uniform, it amounts to the 7th part of the light of the sun. And thus she rises, and her first phase in the east comes forth on the 30th morning. And on that day she becomes visible, and constitutes for you the first phase of the moon on the 30th day, together with the sun in the portal where the sun rises. And the 1/2 of her goes forth by a 7th part, and her whole circumference is empty, without light, with the exception of 1/7 part of it, the 14th part of her light. And when she receives 1/7 part of the half of her light amounts to 1/7 part and the half thereof. And she goes down with the sun, and when the sun rises, the moon rises with him, and receives the half of 1 part of light. And in that night, in the beginning of her morning, in the beginning of the lunar day, the moon goes down with the sun, and is invisible that night, with the 14 parts and the half of 1 of them. And she rises on that day with exactly a 7th part, and comes forth and recedes from the rising of the sun, and in her remaining days she becomes bright in the 13 parts. Hanok, Enoch, chapter 74. And I saw another course, a law for her, how according to that law she performs her monthly revolution. And all these Uriel, the Kodesh messenger, who is the leader of them all, showed to me, and their positions. And I wrote down their positions as he showed them to me, and I wrote down their months as they were, and the appearance of their lights, till 15 days were accomplished. In single 7th parts she accomplishes all her light in the east, and in single 7th parts accomplishes all her darkness in the west. And in certain months she alters her going down, and in certain months she pursues her own peculiar course. In 2 months the moon goes down with the sun, in those 2 middle portals, the 3rd and the 4th. She goes forth for 7 days, and turns about, and returns again through the portal where the sun rises, and accomplishes all her light. And she recedes from the sun, and in 8 days enters the 6th portal, from which the sun goes forth. And when the sun goes forth from the 4th portal, she goes forth 7 days, until she goes forth from the 5th, and turns back again in 7 days into the 4th portal, and accomplishes all her light. And she recedes and enters into the 1st portal in 8 days. And she returns again in 7 days into the 4th portal, from which the sun goes forth. Thus I saw their position, how the moon rose, and the sun went down in those days. And if 5 years are added together, the sun has an excess of 30 days, and all the days which increase to it for one of those 5 years, when they are full, amount to 364 days. And the excess of the sun and of the stars amounts to 6 days. In 5 years, 6 days every year come to 30 days. And the moon falls behind the sun and stars to the number of 30 days. And the sun and the stars bring in all the years exactly, so that they do not advance or delay their position by a single day unto everlasting, but complete the years with perfect justice in 364 days. In 3 years there are 1,092 days, and in 5 years 1,820 days, so that in 8 years there are 2,912 days. For the moon alone the days amount in 3 years to 1,062 days, and in 5 years she falls 50 days behind. To the sum there is 5 to be added, and 62 days. And in the 5 years there are 1,770 days, so that for the moon the days 6 in 8 years amounts to 2,832 days. For in 8 years she falls behind to the amount of 80 days. All the 17 days she falls behind in 8 years are 80. And the year is accurately completed in conformity with their world stations and the stations of the sun, which rises from the portals through which it rises and goes down 30 days. Hanok, Enoch, chapter 75. And the leaders of the heads of the thousands who are placed over the whole creation and over all the stars have also to do with the 4 intercalary days, being inseparable from their office according to the reckoning of the year, and these render service on the 4 days which are not reckoned in the reckoning of the year. And owing to them men go astray therein, for those lights truly render service on the world stations, 1 in the first portal, 1 in the third portal of the shamayim, 1 in the fourth portal, and 1 in the sixth portal. And the exactness of the year is accomplished through its separate 364 stations. For the signs and the times and the years and the days the messenger Uriel showed to me, whom Yahweh of esteem has appointed forever over all the lights of the shamayim, in the shamayim and in the world, that they should rule on the face of the shamayim and be seen on the earth, and be leaders for the day and the night. The sun, moon, and stars, and all the ministering beings which make their revolution in all the chariots of the shamayim. In the same way, 12 doors Uriel showed me, open in the circumference of the sun's chariot in the shamayim, through which the rays of the sun break forth, and from them is warmth diffused over the earth when they are opened at their appointed times. And for the winds and the spirit of the dew, when they are opened, standing open in the shamayim at the ends. As for the 12 portals in the shamayim, at the ends of the earth, out of which go forth the sun, moon, and stars, and all the works of the shamayim in the east and in the west, there are many windows open to the left and right of them, and one window at its appointed time produces warmth, corresponding to those doors from which the stars come forth, according as he has commanded them, and wherein they are placed corresponding to their number. And I saw chariots in the shamayim running in the world above those portals in which revolve these stars that never go down. And one is larger than all the rest, and it is that which makes its course through the entire world. Hanok, Enoch, chapter 76. And at the ends of the earth I saw 12 portals open to all the quarters from which the winds go forth and blow over the earth. 3 of them are open on the face of the shamayim, and 3 in the west, and 3 on the right of the shamayim, and 3 on the left. And the 3 first are those of the east, and 3 are of the north, and 3 after those on the left of the south, and 3 of the west. Through 4 of these come winds of berakah and prosperity, and from those 8 come hurtful winds. When they are sent, they bring destruction on all the earth, and on the water upon it, and on all who dwell upon it, and on all which are in the water, and on the land. And the first wind from those portals, called the east wind, comes forth through the first portal, which is in the east, inclining towards the south. From it come forth desolation, drought, heat, and destruction. And through the second portal in the middle comes what is fitting, and from it there comes rain, and fruitfulness, and prosperity, and dew. And through the third portal, which lies toward the north, come cold and drought. And after these come forth the south winds through 3 portals. Through the first portal of them, inclining to the east, comes forth a hot wind. And through the middle portal next to it, there come forth fragrant smells, and dew, and rain, and prosperity, and health. And through the third portal lying to the west come forth dew and rain, locusts, and desolation. And after these the north winds. From the 7th portal in the east come dew and rain, locusts, and desolation. And from the middle portal come in a direct direction health and rain and dew and prosperity. And through the 3rd portal in the west come cloud and frost and snow and rain and dew and locusts. And after these 4 are the west winds. Through the first portal adjoining the north come forth dew and frost and cold and snow and ice. And from the middle portal come forth dew and rain and prosperity and berakah. And through the last portal which adjoins the south come forth drought and desolation and burning and destruction. And the 12 portals of the 4 quarters of the shamayim are completed, and all their laws and all their plagues and all their goodness have I shown to you, my son Methuselah. Hanok, Enoch, chapter 77. And the first quarter is called the east, because it is the first, and the second the south, because the Most High will descend there. Even there, in quite a special sense, will he who is Baruch forever descend. And the west quarter is named the diminished, because there all the lights of the shamayim diminish and go down. And the 4th quarter, named the north, is divided into 3 parts. The first of them is for the dwelling of men, and the second contains seas of water, and the abysses, and forests, and rivers, and darkness, and clouds. And the 3rd part contains the garden of righteousness. I saw 7 high mountains, higher than all the mountains which are on the earth, and from there comes forth frost, and days, seasons, and years pass away. I saw 7 rivers on the earth larger than all the rivers. One of them coming from the west pours its waters into the great sea. And these 2 come from the north to the sea, and pour their waters into the eastern sea in the east. And the remaining 4 come forth on the side of the north to their own sea, 2 of them to the eastern sea, and 2 into the great sea, and discharge themselves there, and some say, into the desert. 7 great islands I saw in the sea and in the mainland, 2 in the mainland, and 5 in the great sea. Hanok, Enoch, chapter 78. And the names of the sun are the following. The first are Yerez, and the second Tomah. And the moon has 4 names. The first name is Asonia, the second Ebla, the third Benais, and the 4th Era. These are the 2 great lights. Their circumference is like the circumference of the shamayim, and the size of the circumference of both is alike. In the circumference of the sun there are 7 portions of light which are added to it, more than to the moon, and in definite measures it is transferred till the 7th portion of the sun is exhausted. And they go down and enter the portals of the west, and make their revolution by the north, and come forth through the eastern portals on the face of the shamayim. And when the moon rises, 1/14th part appears in the shamayim. The light becomes full in her. On the 14th day she accomplishes her light, and 15 parts of light are transferred to her till the 15th day. Her light is accomplished according to the sign of the year, and she becomes 15 parts, and the moon grows by 14th parts. And in her diminishing, decreases on the 1st day to 14 parts of her light, on the 2nd to 13 parts of light, on the 3rd to 12, on the 4th to 11, on the 5th to 10, on the 6th to 9, on the 7th to 8, on the 8th to 7, on the 9th to 6, on the 10th to 5, on the 11th to 4, on the 12th to 3, on the 13th to 2, on the 14th to the half of a 7th, and all her remaining light disappears wholly on the 15th. And in certain months the month has 29 days, and once 28. And Uriel showed me another law, when light is transferred to the moon, and on which side it is transferred to her by the sun. During all the period during which the moon is growing in her light, she is transferring it to herself when opposite to the sun. During 14 days her light is accomplished in the shamayim, and when she is illuminated throughout, her light is accomplished full in the shamayim. And on the 1st day she is called the new moon, for on that day the light rises upon her. She becomes full moon exactly on the day when the sun goes down in the west, and from the east she rises at night, and the moon shines the whole night through till the sun rises over against her, and the moon is seen over against the sun. On the side where the light of the moon comes forth, there again she diminishes till all the light vanishes, and all the days of the month are at an end, and her circumference is empty, void of light. And 3 months she makes of 30 days, and at her time she makes 3 months of 29 days each, in which she accomplishes her diminishing in the first period of time, and in the first portal for 177 days. And in the time of her going out she appears for 3 months, 30 days each, and for 3 months she appears 29 each. At night she appears like a man for 20 days each time, and by day she appears like the shamayim, and there is none else in her save her light. Hanok, Enoch, chapter 79. And now, my son, I have shown you all matters, and the law of all the stars of the shamayim is completed. And he showed me all the laws of these for every day, and for every season of bearing rule, and for every year, and for its going forth, and for the order prescribed to it every month and every week. And the diminishing of the moon which takes place in the 6th portal, for in this 6th portal her light is accomplished, and after that there is the beginning of the diminishing, which takes place in the 1st portal, in its season, till 177 days are accomplished, reckoned according to weeks, 25 and 2 days. She falls behind the sun and the order of the stars exactly 5 days in the course of one period, and when this place which you see has been traversed. Such is the picture and sketch of every light which Uriel, the chief messenger, who is their leader, showed to me.